Hello, everyone. Today I will be teaching a course on how to be successful in your classes. To begin, let's think about some questions in regard to your own note-taking strategies. You don't have to write these down, but you can if you want to. How do you take notes? How do you start an assignment? When do you start an assignment? What are some studying methods that have been successful for you? What are some studying methods that have been unsuccessful for you? Do you prefer to study alone or with your peers or someone assisting you? And lastly, how do you study for a test? Let's talk about note taking skills and strategies. The first strategy is by reading your assignment before you come to class. One of the most important note taking tips for college is about what happens before your pen hits the paper or fingers hit the laptop. Preparation is key to taking more efficient and effective notes. Make sure you've read your assignment before coming to class. Be thorough in your reading, make sure you fully understand the concepts, and take note of any questions you might have about the material. Having some understanding of awareness of the material beforehand will help you process the information and take cohesive notes that you will be able to use later. Plus, it's probably what your teacher expects from you, anyways. You'll be able to participate more easily in the discussion, which will further cement the information in your mind and help you do better on exams. Next, get organized. Learning how to take notes in college starts with organization. Separate your notes by beginning each lecture on a new page. It is important to date each new lecture and number your pages. After class, make sure you go back to add a topic or heading to the top of your page. This will make it much easier for you to find relevant information when you're studying. After all, you are taking notes so you'll be able to study in the future, and you want to be able to easily search for the material. If you have any other ideas on how to organize your notes, feel free to give it a try. The best way to organize notes in college is to find out what works for you. So sometimes a little personalization can make all the difference. Giving yourself room. One of the best ways to take handwritten notes is to make sure you have plenty of room to keep the information legible and organized. And having plenty of space will allow you to go back and write additional thoughts as they come to you. In order to ensure you have plenty of room, consider writing on only one side of the paper. This will make it easier to read notes and give you a chance to add more information on the back if needed. It's ideal to use loose leaf notebooks because they're easier to organize when you review. You'll be able to rearrange your notes, insert additional materials like handouts and study guides, and insert notes you borrow from study partners or classmates. Don't try to use up all the available space on each page. Give yourself room to go back and add information as your instructor continues to talk or write extra notes when you make a connection in class. Thinking while you write. It's easy to get into the zone while you're taking notes, only to look down and realize you don't even know what you wrote. If you try to transcribe your teacher's lecture, you'll have no room for thinking about what you're writing and how it fits together. And you will inevitably fall behind and get frustrated. For better results, make sure you think about everything the instructor is saying before you write anything down. This means not writing every single word that your instructor says. As you listen and write, think about what information is most likely to be used later, whether on a test, in an essay, or for completing a project. Focus on points that directly relate or illustrate your reading. And during class, listen for verbal clues from your instructor that indicate important information. Asking questions. Inevitably, you won't understand every aspect the information is when you hear and for the first time, and asking questions is a crucial part of learning. So as you listen and write, make sure to record your questions. Did you raise your hand and ask the teacher to clarify anything? Write that down. Do you have any questions you didn't get a chance to ask? Write down those too. This will help you stay aware of potential gaps in your understanding. You'll be able to better focus on those parts of the material when you're viewing your notes later and know which information to look up in order to help strengthen what you've learned. Also, while you're studying or reviewing notes later, ask questions and write down questions as they come up. You can take these notes to your teacher and get the answers and clarify your notes. Develop a system. Everybody has a different note organization system. Outlining, numbered paragraphs, a mind map, charts and graphs. There's no way to organize, so don't be afraid to experiment. Think about the way that best reflects how you listen, how you think, and how you process information. The best way to take notes on a laptop may be different from the best way to take notes on paper, so it's okay to tailor your system to the mode that you're using. Some students would prefer to take notes on a laptop during class, but would rather write on paper while studying. If a method isn't working for you, switch to a different one, even in the middle of class. The sooner you find your groove, the sooner you'll be able to make the most of your notes and be more successful in your class. Lastly, review your notes. After the lecture, go through your notes, consider leaving space on each page or after each important section of class for a short summary of the information of the material you covered, written in your own words. This can help you process the information by making you think it through, ensuring you understand it. Reviewing your notes also helps you remember the material. Underscores the instructor's lecture, lets you add things that you want to make sure you don't forget, and gives you time to organize material that is connected. You may even want to go the extra mile to turn your notes into flashcards or teach the material to a friend or family member. Teaching is a great way to ensure that you truly understand the material, and it will give you a chance to process all of the information you've written in a new, fresh way. There isn't a single way to take notes in class or develop note taking skills, but it's incredibly important ability to learn, and one that will help you not just throughout school, but also throughout your career. A popular notes taking strategy is the SQ3R system. S stands for survey, what are you about to read? Q stands for question, what new information will you need to know? The first R stands for read, take notes or highlight, identify thesis and main points. The second R stands for reflect or recall. Are you finding the answers to your questions? Do you need to come up with new questions? The third and last R stands for review. Look at the question you wrote. Do you know the answers? Write a summary. Lastly, let's talk about the study cycle of taking notes for a lecture. The first step is before lecture by using the syllabus to identify relevant topics that will be covered in the lecture, scanning the introduction and objectives, chapter headings, keywords, diagrams, and the end of chapter summary. Take notes on the assigned readings, and based on reading, formulate questions to ask in lecture. The next step is during the lecture. Take notes, putting PowerPoints in the professor's lecture into your own words. Record key concepts from the lecture that match notes from the reading. Note hard and complex topics to practice and review after the lecture. The next stage is after the lecture. Within 24 hours, initially reviewing notes to reinforce key information and identify weak areas and concepts in your notes. Clarify unclear top concepts with textbook, professor, tutor, TA, and/or other students. Lastly, create charts, diagrams, timelines, etc. to organize information and illustrate relationships. The next step is preparing for the test. Gather and organize all your study materials. Without using these materials, complete practice problems and examples and study guides to assess knowledge. Focus remaining time on incorrect answers or concepts. And lastly, this last stage is acing the test and beyond. Arrive early with all the necessary materials to reduce your anxiety. Navigate the test, directions, examine, time, easiest, review. Analyze test score, identify missed items in your understanding. And lastly, think realistically and create a study schedule to prepare for the next test. And do this for all of your courses as it will help you greatly. And lastly, here are my references that I use for this PowerPoint. And thank you guys for attending, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.